Alright guys, I'm keeping my Sunday for Monday obligation for YouTube, and so where I'm at right now is I am back in Oregon, and the reason for that is going to be revealed later in the week. By the end of the week you should know why I was passing through Oregon today. I am currently separated from my Toyota Sienna. And so the end of the week got a little bit meh. But before we go there, I did try a new format this week. I tried doing a little bit of like talking head stuff to go with the actual day that I was doing the exercise, because the thing is, like, by Sunday I do feel a little bit of like rush to get these videos out. And so, like, sometimes that frustration makes it seem like I'm frustrated with the process, which actually isn't true. I'm mostly happy with the process so far. It's just finding a good way to do these where I don't feel frustrated on Sunday when I record them. And so I think some of that comes off in some of the videos, and sometimes people feel like I'm down on the actual process when I'm not. It's just, my emotions on that Sunday and sort of like finding a way to make the schedule work for me. I don't want to get rid of the schedule. I like the schedule. I like the obligation to it. I like the motivation it gives me week to week. It's just finding a way that it doesn't feel like super frustrating when I get here as far as how it feeds into the video. But I'm going to come back to that. First, I want you to watch some clips from earlier in the week. Check them out. So I've decided to do things a little differently this week. As my sort of goals and evolution in this fitness journey changes, so will probably the format of these videos. Right now I am at the marina, and it is Tuesday, which is my new beginning of the weekday. I really feel like one of the reasons I've stagnated the last couple of weeks is because the exercises I used to do aren't as challenging, and that's not to say like I'm breezing through them like no tomorrow, but they are at the point where they aren't as challenging. Now, I started sneaking in a little bit of P90X cardio last week with Kempo X. So I did a couple of days where I did Kempo X. Now, the thing about most P90X exercises is they are at least an hour. So when I was just kind of like mix and matching programs sort of in my own format, if I was really feeling lazy, I could grab like the 20-minute instead of the hour-long, exercise, because I wasn't particularly dedicated to any sort of program. I did have a pattern. I did have types of exercises I was trying to hit, but I was not necessarily aiming to complete a very specific program. It was more about getting used to having activity back and sort of having better fitness levels, if that makes any sense. So like, when I first started doing videos up in Oregon, like I was exhausted after like a 15 or 20-minute exercise. Now I can pretty much do it. I get a little bit of a burn, but like I'm not exhausted. Like, I'm pretty good. Like I'm not really like feeling that, burn, as it were, on the same level, depending on the video. There's a couple of videos that still hit me like that. I tried to do a Chalene Extreme video, but with the weights I have, it's just not. I need heavier weights to really do Chalene Extreme, which is going to sound crazy because I think P90X is a harder program than Chalene Extreme, but you can get a better burn with the weights that I have when it comes to things that involve weights. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. So let me show you guys something. Let me see if I can sit this. I didn't bring anything to hold this phone, so I'm just going to sit it right here. So basically, I am going to modify this a little bit, but very little. My day one, as weird as it sound, is now going to be Tuesday. So this would be my Tuesday, my Wednesday, my Thursday, my Friday, my Saturday, my Sunday, and my Monday, which you can see is rest or X stretch. So, P90X gives you sort of an option there. You can completely rest or you can throw in the X stretch routine. For abs, I can't do the P90X abs. It's just beyond my fitness level at this point. I can do chest and back, and I can kind of do the cardio stuff with some modifications. And there are modifications I can, adjust to in the video. Like for chest and back, there's a lot of pull-ups that you can modify by using the fitness bands, which is what I did today. Abs is a separate video, and I replaced that with my ab ball routine, which is an extra 10 minutes. This is already an hour. So this is about an hour and 10 minutes of exercise. This video is about an hour. Shoulder and arms, again, is one DVD. Abs is a second DVD. I'm going to replace P90X yoga with Biggest Loser yoga because just honestly, it's better designed for bigger people, and I still get a burnout of it. So I can't quite do the yoga routine for P90X. So I'm just going to swap that out for a different yoga routine, but it'll be the same type of exercise because it'll still be in the yoga category. Again, we are going to do legs and back video and then do our modified ball routine video in place of P90X ab routine. Kempo, I did that a lot last week, and I'm just going to take this day as it goes because I said this is going to be my Monday. So today is Tuesday. I did this, and I can always print out another copy of these, so we're going to scratch that out as done. Now, I have not inflated my fitness ball really since I left Oregon. I inflated it today because, again, I was re-implementing abs. It's just because it's kind of a pain to pull out and inflate. You sort of have to wait on the 12-volt air compressor, which is really, really annoying, but I used it today. But look how dirty it gets because I'm doing exercise outside. And the same thing with my mat over there. Like, my mat's disgusting, so I'm going to clean these off. But yeah, that's the not fun part about exercising outside, is things can get really, really dirty. So Tuesday's workout is done. I faced some technical difficulties. The wind blew my DVD player over and literally knocked the DVD out, and it rolled across the ground, and it was smashed and damaged. And I was like, oh crap, I really want to commit to doing the P90X program for 90 days. And I was like, you know what? I didn't want to pay for it, because what I like about the DVDs is you pay for them once and you own them forever. But Beachbody, who does P90X, has an app, and you get access to their whole library. You can even watch stuff offline for a year or whatever. And so I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and pay for the Beachbody app, because it's really important to me that I commit to these 90 days, not get knocked off course or anything like that. And so I did. I went back after fooling around in the van for a while. I said, screw it. I put the DVD to the side. I still have it. And I downloaded the app. I, signed up for the service. You can always cancel a service. I set a reminder in my calendar about the date when the service ends. And I went ahead and did the thing. is. It's Thursday. Okay, I was like, where are we? So I just finished Thursday, which is, let me see. Can you guys see this? You can't see this. So Thursday, I don't know if you can read it. You probably can't. It's shoulders, arms, and abs. In general, it went great. I mean, like, it was pretty much a weightlifting exercise more than anything else. And obviously, like I said, I haven't been doing the P90X abs because it's above my level. But I've always liked weightlifting. Like, people are always like, oh, you're doing it wrong. No wonder you're miserable. It's the types of exercises you're doing. No, it's not. And also, sometimes when I sit down, thank you, helicopter. Sometimes when I sit down to record that, like, Sunday video, I'm generally exhausted. And so sometimes I think that comes out as, oh, Dawn, it seems like you're being miserable. I'm pretty proud of the fact, in general, like, overall, over everything, you know, through this whole time, how much I've been keeping up with this. Like, I am proud of that. Even when I'm kind of like, man, blah, I didn't do great this week. I didn't do that. I tend to be highly critical of myself, you know, and so I'm always going to think I can do better. But I wouldn't keep going if I was miserable. And if there was like this week, I said, okay, I need to do P90X. I think what I'm doing is not pushing me enough anymore, you know, mentally speaking. And so I switched it up and I put myself into a program. As far as the actual, like, sort of skeleton of what I'm doing, it's been going great overall, like, to be quite honest. Like I said, when I look at my 3-month progress, I feel great about it. And I actually do like weightlifting. You know, I am meh about yoga. Cardio is fine, especially when it's like interval training and so you're doing a different thing every once in a while. That's why I don't like running. It's just consistently doing running. Yeah, don't get it. But if I'm like, okay, we're going to run for 10 minutes and then we're going to do jumping jacks and then we're going to do some crazy thing where we're kicking our legs, like, I'm staying engaged way more. I don't get running. I know a lot of people enjoy it. It seems to be the in thing to love is your physical activity, but I just don't get it. And again, it's not moving for like an hour. I can move for an hour just fine, but running, meh, I don't get it. But weightlifting I've always loved, and honestly, like, my imaginary ideal body is not like the thin model type. It's like the fit, borderline, bodybuilder type. Not quite so bodybuilder that you have like those thick muscles that are like protruding out and insane, but like that you could see like the cut of the muscles like in the arm or like in the legs or like in the thigh. Like you can see sort of the definition. So like just being thin is not my ideal body type. You know, I would enjoy having some muscle and having some strength. On top of like losing weight. Losing weight I consider sort of a default of pursuing being healthier, and I can feel that I'm healthier. So yeah, next check-in tomorrow. Let's see how we do on it's yoga day. I swear my locks are just doing what they want to do these days. It's crazy. But I just finished Chalene Extreme Recharge. Recharge is basically a dedicated stretching routine. It's like 22 minutes. And I know that it's within somewhat reasonably within my skill set, which Yoga X is not. Originally, I said I was going to replace Yoga X with the Biggest Loser weight loss yoga, which is actually a little bit tougher and a little bit longer. But the reason I didn't do it is because of the DVD player getting blown over yesterday. And so now that I have Beachbody on demand, it's easier just to use their videos. You can download them for use offline. So like I have a bunch, you know, I always make sure the day before that I set the video that I'm going to use for offline since I've paid for the service at this point. So yeah, I did that. Still not my thing. Man, that's loud. Oh, it's a train. It's a BART train. But anyway, so I knocked that out, and that's all there is for the day. All right, welcome back to Noisy Sunday at the truck stop. Let's wait for it. So I apologize because I really had nowhere else to shoot this. Saturday was kind of crazy because I had to get on a plane. And so I basically had to travel away from my vehicle without my things. And because I had to, fly away from my vehicle without my things, and I can only carry so much, I don't even have all of my, camera stuff that I usually use. I mean, I have my cell phone, and I can film on my cell phone, obviously. And I had a selfie. I had a couple of little things, but there was a lot of I haven't done a lot of driving footage because I've been using travel footage. I guess it's not really driving footage because I usually use a clip so that I have both of my hands to drive. And I just didn't have that with me, so it kind of changed the way that I recorded things, or even just the way I've been functioning for a couple of days. And it's really hard to do this video because there's things I don't want to say because they're part of a video later in the week. So the hard part was there was no way I could do my routine these last couple of days, these last 2 days, Saturday and Sunday. My plan is that I'm back in the Bay Area by Tuesday. I'm reconnected with the minivan and all the stuff in the minivan that I use on a daily basis, and I sort of get back on track. That is my plan, is to be back in the Bay Area by Tuesday. Unfortunately, that isn't completely in my control at this point. It's a little out of my control, but that's what I'm pushing for. Because I'm not in my regular situation, and I haven't really had still time. I mean, there was no way I was going to cook. There was no still time where cooking was an option. Then it's been a challenge, trying to make good choices, and I've made some bad ones. Nothing like that was going to derail me in the grand scheme of things. I did make a decision. I usually weigh myself on Sundays, but also that whole number game is kind of getting annoying. And for myself, I think a better picture is going to be painted. I still want to have that as a trackable number, but I think a better picture is going to be painted if I start doing that on a monthly basis as opposed to a weekly basis. Now, as far as my success or failure, what's sad is some people are still treating me like I'm failing, which I know for a fact that I'm not. It's not super fast weight loss, but from what I've seen, and if there's somebody out there that can prove me wrong, people who do it really, really slow over a long time, let's wait, also tend to retain the things that they've retrained themselves to live over that long time. Whereas people who reach a goal really, really fast and really, really early are okay, I'm done, and sometimes they throw out everything they did to get there and they go back to who they were before. They're oh, I stopped eating pizza long enough to lose 40 pounds. Now I can go back to eating pizza, and then next thing you know, they've gained weight back. So I'm trying to very intelligently approach things I know I will continue to do without an issue. And if I go on some journey that's not true to how I live or true to how I will continue to live moving forward, then that journey is going to get derailed because I'm okay, thank God I can stop doing this. It's maybe you had something you didn't like to eat as a kid. I'm a freaking weirdo, for example. I don't like sweet potatoes. There we go. everybody's gonna, oh my God. Yeah, I don't like sweet potatoes. I've never liked sweet potatoes. I don't like sweet potato pie. I don't like sweet potatoes. I just don't. I also don't like strawberries. I don't like the seedy taste of them. I don't like I don't mind strawberry flavored things, actually. I don't even like strawberry ice cream, because usually it also has like that quality of actual strawberries that I don't like. And if somebody told me like sweet potatoes or strawberries were the key to me being thin the rest of my life, I still wouldn't eat them. I'd be like, oh well. So unless I actually go on a journey to discover these things that I like, that fit into my lifestyle, that will work over a long time, it all won't matter, because eventually I'll just boomerang back. And so I feel like I need to give my journey a year. And if I'm like, okay, I've been doing like super excellent for a year, and that's not saying I'm not going to have bad days. Everybody has bad days when they're trying to make a change, but I'm going to give myself a year of dedication to this to really evaluate it, because I think doing anything else would be a disservice to the type of journey I'm trying to embrace. There's people who's like, oh, you need to, like, they mention it, if you do this, you'll lose weight and you'll have so much energy. Have you met me? I bounce off the walls most of the time. I have plenty of energy. People be like, oh, you need to do this because like all of my health problems went away. I have no notable health problems. This is really about me feeling better about the way that I am living, and how, that does or doesn't affect my body type. We'll see. And that's what this journey is about. I'm not feeling good about these last 2 days. But sometimes you're not going to have access to your stuff. There was a lot of people when COVID happened, they were regular gym goers. They enjoyed going to the gym. And once that was taken from them, if they wanted to maintain their fitness, they had to ask themselves how life was going to change. But they got derailed first. And most people, I will say, was probably sitting around like, well, what do I do if I don't have access to a gym? And then eventually they all went and cleaned out the weight sections at Walmart, because there's not one weight in the weight section at Walmart or Target. They also bought all the bikes. It's ridiculous. So yeah, just stuff like this is going to happen. It's a part of life. And like, it's okay to get tested and okay to figure it out. And I'm going to pull back from giving myself an excuse to make bad choices, and I am going to commit, even though I don't think I'm going to be back in the Bay Area till Tuesday, so I won't have a stove, I won't have a way to cook, so I just have to figure out like what are my best choices when mostly I'm running into truck stops and things like 7-Eleven, places where I get gas. I mean, like, that's mostly where I'm stopping, is places where I get gas. And so I have to sort of negotiate around that sort of being my reality while I try to reconnect with my things back in California. But when you guys find out why I was here in the first place, hopefully you'll be excited. Patreon will know a little sooner than everybody else. That's all I got for this video. I will see you guys in the next one.